Brighton, Colorado is an extremely popular and super fast-growing city in the Denver metro area. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Mitch Mahaffey, and in today's video, we're going to be breaking down the cost of living in Brighton, Colorado in depth. Let's dive on in. So to kick this off, let's go over just a few basic pieces of general information about Brighton. I've covered this on other videos on the channel, but if this is your first time here, welcome. So happy you made it. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with the area, Brighton, Colorado sits about 30 to 35 minutes northeast of downtown Denver. You do have direct highway access from Brighton to Denver, making it an incredibly attractive spot for people that want to be close to the big city, but don't want to pay the typical cost of living premium that comes with being close to a big city. Other landmarks that you should be aware of with Brighton's proximity, we're about 45 minutes to an hour away from Boulder, Colorado, which is right there on the western side of the state, near the foothills, in some spots. And we're only about 20 minutes away from Denver International Airport here. So, although it is northeast, you've got really close proximity to some very important things and other places within the state, including downtown. Now, Brighton, Colorado is incredibly popular. Like we just mentioned, you have a super close proximity to downtown, and as we're about to dive into, the cost of living in Brighton compared to other cities in the metro area is a lot more affordable, thus making it a super attractive city for home buyers to land in. I do want to point out there are some things in Brighton that you do need to know. Because of its popularity over the past couple years, Brighton is experiencing some growing pains. A lot of the infrastructure and shops and restaurants and things to do haven't quite caught up with the boom in population. Now, of course, that is changing, but growth takes time, construction takes time. There is also not a lot of public transportation available within Brighton. You have a few bus routes, but to get to and from major areas in the state and to the city of Denver, you are going to be very reliant on a car to do so. So when we talk about transportation costs being pretty high on this list, that is why. Now, I gather all of my information when it comes to cost of living from bestplaces.net, simply because I think they have the easiest scale to break down and digest and understand. Now, bestplaces.net uses everything at a baseline of 100. So 100 is the national average. Colorado typically comes in at 120.5 on average overall. A lot of the cities in the metro area are actually pretty in line with that, but you will find on every single video where we discuss cost of living that real estate costs, housing costs are what push Colorado over that national average, and in some cases over the state average, depending on what city that we are in. Now, bestplaces.net gives Brighton, Colorado a score of 121.3, so just a little bit more than the state's average. Grocery costs in Brighton come in with a ranking of 100.1, so I'd say those are pretty in line with the national average for grocery costs. Now, healthcare comes in at 85. Like we've discussed in other videos, Colorado does have very good pricing for its healthcare. Transportation, like I just mentioned, there's not a lot of public transportation. It is very car dependent. Comes in at a 119.8. Like I said, the reason why Colorado cities come in and the Denver metro cities come in higher than the state and national average because of housing prices. According to bestplaces.net, the housing score for Brighton, Colorado is 155.8, making it 55.8% more expensive to buy a home in Brighton than the national average. Now, that's to be expected, though. There is a lot of demand in Colorado. And in fact, U.S. News just ranked the Denver Metropolitan Statistical Area, the Denver MSA, as the hottest market in the nation. And of course, a rising tide lifts all ships. So all of the cities in the metro area will be able to benefit from some of that demand. Brighton, I think, is going to continue to grow at a very quick pace over the next couple of years, especially as we start to see interest rates come down. Now, to dive further into this, we're going to come back to housing costs because I want to just show you also what you get for your money when we talk about the average and the median prices of housing in Brighton. Now, a rolling average for a couple of the things here on the list that I wanted to cover. A gallon of gas, the 1 week rolling average, has been around $3.33 for a gallon of just regular, and for car guys like myself, $3.97 for 91 octane gas. Gallon of milk, the rolling average is around $3.50. Okay, so let's break down housing costs a little bit more here. I want to preface this by going over what the Denver Metro as a whole, the 11 counties that make up the Denver Metro area, are the median and the average cost of a single family residence in the Metro as a whole. And then we'll discuss Brighton and why Brighton is so much more attractive for home buyers. I want to break this down because when I pull these stats, I pull them directly from the MLS, and the only kind of criteria I am selecting is single family residence. I'm not counting sizes. I'm not looking for a specific bedroom or bathroom. I'm not looking for a specific year built. For a single family residence, the Denver Metro median comes in at $645,000, and the Denver Metro average comes in at $785,395. So for some of you, your jaws just hit the floor. Holy crap, that's expensive. And for some of you, your jaws just hit the floor because holy crap, I can buy a whole house for that little. Crazy. Depends on what part of the country, what market you are joining us from. Now, here's the deal with Brighton. In fact, this is one of the driving reasons on why I'm a Brighton resident myself. The median cost for a single family residence in Brighton is $540,000, and the average is $595,849. So although that might be higher than the city you live in now, when you compare that to the average and the median of the metro area as a whole, you can see there is a very substantial amount of savings to be had in Brighton when it comes time to buy a home. And hey, when it does come time to buy a home in Brighton or any other city in the metro area or northern Colorado area, I would love nothing more than the opportunity to help. Feel free to give me a call or text at the number that you see on the screen. Can't wait to help you out. Now, because of all of the growth that is happening in Brighton right now, there is a ton of both new construction and resale options for sale, even below that median of $540,000. In fact, I have found quite a few builders that are building a very, very nice house for less than $540,000, even closer to that $490,000 to $500,000 range. Of course, depending on what neighborhood you're in. Some of the things that I like to point out when I have home buyers, first-time home buyers or repeat home buyers buying a new construction, because that is where most of the opportunity is in Brighton right now, is the quality of the work. When we're walking into a $550,000 house and we're looking at things like vinyl flooring in a laundry room or a master bathroom or anywhere where there's going to be water, to me, it's a big red flag and a big turnoff, because not only is that cheap, it's not going to live up to wear and tear very well. You know, the washer floods once on the vinyl floor in the laundry room. Not only do you have to deal with water mitigation, but now you're replacing an entire floor. There are a lot of builders in Brighton around that $500 price point that are doing things like tankless water heaters, real tile flooring, and very, very high-end finishes in the house for around that, like I said, that 500 mark, which is hard to find, especially when you look at new construction in a lot of the other cities in the metro area. In fact, right now there are 66 single-family residences currently listed for sale in Brighton at that $550,000 price point or less. In fact, the largest one of those is 4,300 square feet for $550,000. That's untouchable in any other city in the Denver metro area. That is part of why Brighton is so popular. You have a much lower cost of living. You have much lower housing costs, but you still have that super close proximity to downtown, which means commuting for work or just going out to enjoy a weekend or an evening is not a chore to do. But what kind of house can you get for around that $500,000 to $500,000 price point here in Brighton, Colorado? Well, let's go take a look. Now, both of the homes that we're going to show you guys today do range in a bunch of things. They range in size. They range in whether or not they have a basement or if they have a crawl space. And of course, because these are new construction, options and colors can change and you can really customize this. But for the most part, everything today, 3 to 4 bedrooms and around 2 to 4 total finished bathrooms. So tons of space. The 2 that we're looking at range in size from 1,500 finished on the main floor here, and I believe the first one we take a look at is 2,300 square foot. So they range in size, plenty of space to spread out. The floor plans range a lot, so they really do have something for all lifestyles. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the tour.